As you've seen on my channel, I've been through a lot of monitors, and it's a terribly expensive habit, but a fun adventure nonetheless. But don't worry, I find new homes for all of these forgotten displays, and the latest display that has me completely smitten is this wonderful 48-inch 4K OLED monitor from Aorus. And yes, you heard me right, it's 48 inches. But before I justify and rationalize why you need this giant, ridiculous 48-inch display, let's get those specs out of the way, shall we? This is the Aorus 4048U. This is a 3840 by 2160 true 4K display with a 16:9 aspect ratio. It has a 120 Hz refresh rate, 1 millisecond response time, 10-bit color, HDR10, a peak brightness at 8 to 900 nits, 98% of the DCI-P3 color space, 99% Adobe RGB, 130% of the sRGB, AMD FreeSync and NVIDIA G-Sync support. It weighs a whopping 45 pounds. It has a front-facing soundbar with 15 watts they call Space Audio, a built-in KVM, HDMI 2.1, DisplayPort 1.4, 2 USB 3 ports, a USB upstream, USB-C with power delivery, a headphone jack, audio line out, and the OSD also has software that you can install on your PC so you can control everything from a mouse. And just so you guys know, Aorus did not sponsor this video in any way. I actually purchased this awesome display myself to see if this was finally the one. And before we go much further, today's video is actually sponsored by Ovio. And if you're not familiar with Ovio, they are a company based out of North Carolina, and they are a top provider of quality American-made technology support products. They're known for their sleek finish and easy installation. Ovio strives to find quality solutions for simple problems with their computer mounts and cable management options. Ovio sent me 3 of their amazing products to clean up my messy studio. You see this Mac Studio under the desk mount, also this under the desk mount for my audio controller, and this amazing cable management tray, all of which have helped me solve my cable management and desk space woes. Since all of the cables now stay under my desk out of sight rather than up and over, it allows a much cleaner work environment aesthetically. It's almost as if these small computers and peripherals like the Mac Studio and my audio controller were made to be mounted under your desk, and Ovio is a truly great brand to get behind, so be sure to use my links down below when purchasing these amazing products. So let me take you through my rationale behind a 40-inch monitor. You might be thinking, this thing is way too big, but let me tell you something. Many of us creators use multiple displays already for productivity reasons. So instead of thinking of this as too big, maybe think of it as more like 3 displays in one combined, all with the same color accuracy, all from one cable. So when you change your thinking on how to perceive such a large monitor, you begin to appreciate how satisfying it can actually be when you're using it correctly. So when I use this display for productivity and content creation, I'm able to utilize the space how I want to, creating longer spanning windows for like timeline style workflows, or taller windows for media consumption and research. When you use the space in this way smartly, you gain a massive productivity boost that makes multiple displays actually kind of seem clunky and unwieldy. As you can see here, going from a 27-inch display to this is like a completely different world. It's like another level of enlightenment. So when you switch back to like a 27-inch display, it's kind of like you have tunnel vision, and the struggle is real when you're back to that 27-inch display in a particularly unfun way. And so for us content creators, you don't want to worry about color, and this 10-bit display behind me it has you completely covered, as it covers 98% of the DCI-P3 gamut and 130% of sRGB. So for color critical work, this OLED panel has you completely covered, and I'll be honest, I've never been happier with an out-of-the-box calibration like I have with this monitor. I think maybe the one monitor that comes close to it is something like one of the smaller OLED portable monitors that I reviewed earlier. They have delta E's way lower than 2. They're almost like lower than 1. So for all of us creatives who live in a brilliant world of color, we now have access to amazing, truly remarkable technologies where color calibrators are a thing of the past in many ways. And since it's OLED, the Aorus has infinite contrast ratio and perfect color rendition at every angle. And so what about text clarity? Well, text clarity and PPI are good, especially when you factor in viewing distance. The PPI on this display is 92.7, which kind of sounds low especially compared to Retina monitors, but honestly, at the viewing distance where you will have it at, honestly, it's a non-issue. And for reading text, this display is much better than the QD OLED pixel layout, which is used in like the Alienware AW3423DW. This panel also has a glossy anti-glare coating, which is superb at handling reflections, while also giving you that clear glossy layer, which allows the colors to pop, and it also leads to sharper, more vibrant images. So I actually much prefer this gloss anti-glare coat versus the matte finish on the LG 48GQ900B. And that's why I opted for the Aorus, precisely for this reason, along with another important feature that this display has that the LG doesn't, and I'll tell you more about that shortly. As far as industrial design goes, this display is very clean and professional with minimal branding present. The OLED display technology allows for uncanny thin designs since there is no backlight. The legs of this display aren't my favorite though, because they scream a bit more in the TV realm, but that's okay because you can also wall mount it if you desire that. It has 300mm mounting holes on the back. And the guts of this display are of course there, but not overly so. It has the power components built in, so there is no power brick, which is awesome. This display has a max power of 325 watts, so keep that in mind. And now for the fun part, for all you gamers, you guys are gonna love this display. It has 120 Hz refresh rate, 1 millisecond gray to gray response time, HDR10, all the adaptive sync features for NVIDIA and AMD, plus it's OLED, 4K, and it's huge. So this giant screen provides an amazing immersive experience designed to hold nothing back. Just make sure your GPU can push the latest titles out to take full advantage of all that 4K OLED glory. To really appreciate this much OLED in your face, you need to play games that have a lot of contrast. So games like Horizon Zero Dawn look absolutely breathtaking on this monitor, because of all of that dynamic contrast between really bright spots and dark shadowy areas. And other fast-paced games will benefit from the high contrast and low pixel response time, allowing you to react quicker. The input lag is imperceptible, and the black equalizer settings allow you to brighten the dark areas if you need to for first-person shooters without affecting other areas of the screen. It's easy to see how this monitor truly maximizes the fun if you literally only want this for gaming. But if you're like me, you don't want this just for gaming, you want this for content creation also. And that's where this monitor is different and set apart. This monitor will work with 2 different computers. It has a built-in KVM, and that is my favorite part about this display, is this built-in feature. For those of you that don't know, a KVM, well, it allows you to connect one keyboard, one mouse to control 2 different computers. So for an example with me, I've got a Mac Studio here connected via USB-C, and my PC is connected through DisplayPort, and so the PC has a USB upstream cable, and everything else through the Mac Studio going USB-C to the monitor as well. And so you have the Mac for content creating for me in my case, and the PC for gaming. But it gets even better as the audio output jack on this monitor is designed to connect to one set of speakers as well, allowing you to also switch the audio out as you switch between your two computers. In so many ways, this ended my journey of trying to find the perfect monitor because it's truly able to control two different machines and create a cleaner, uncluttered work environment, allowing me to not only create, but also to have some fun on the side while keeping two completely different computing environments siloed. And this is a true all-in-one Swiss Army knife monitor, and bang for buck, it's completely worth what you get, in my opinion. And so speaking of the price, I occasionally see great deals and coupons on this display, especially during Black Friday or Cyber Monday, so be sure to check that out. Be sure to use my affiliate links down below if you decide to try out this amazing monitor. It's a small step that really helps my channel so I can get all of this content out faster. And as always, thank you guys so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed today's content, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and ring the bell to get notified when I drop new content. And I'll see you guys all on my next video.